Ghana's announcement of a visa-free travel policy for all African passport holders from January 2025 is a bold and ambitious step rooted in the ideals of Pan-Africanism. Joining the ranks of countries like Rwanda, Seychelles, and the Gambia, Ghana aims to promote greater regional integration and unity across the continent. This move aligns with the African Union's Agenda 2063, which envisions a borderless Africa where trade, travel, and cultural exchange flourish. While the vision is undeniably inspiring, it also opens up a host of practical challenges. Concerns around security, infrastructure readiness, and the economic implications for local workers highlight the complexity of implementing such a transformative policy. Look, this decision may be a step toward a more connected Africa, but its success will heavily depend on Ghana's ability to address these challenges while ensuring the benefits outweigh the risks. Aligning perfectly with the spirit of Pan-Africanism that Ghana has long championed, dating back to the era of Kwame Nkrumah, the policy seeks to break down artificial borders imposed during colonial times and facilitate the free movement of people across Africa. This is a big deal, not just for trade and tourism, but also for fostering collaboration and cultural exchange among African nations. Advocates argue that a united Africa, one with seamless mobility, could stand as a stronger economic and political bloc on the global stage. Just picture Africa as a continent where a trader in Mali can easily set up partnerships in Ghana, or a tourist from Kenya can freely explore West African heritage sites. The potential economic benefits, such as increased intra-African trade and tourism, are substantial. For Ghana, the policy positions it as a regional leader, a hub for investment, and a gateway to West Africa. It opens doors to a future where Africans truly prioritize each other in trade, tourism, and innovation, rather than looking outward to Europe or the Americas. But beneath the optimism lies a layer of justified skepticism. A recurring concern is security. Ghana, like many African nations, already grapples with poorly regulated borders and limited enforcement capacity. Critics warn that visa-free access could exacerbate issues such as human trafficking, cross-border crime, and illegal immigration. If not managed carefully, this policy could strain Ghana's security and administrative systems, creating vulnerabilities that opportunistic actors may exploit. Additionally, there are fears about the economic implications for Ghanaian workers. The influx of low-skilled labor from neighboring countries could lead to wage suppression, heightened competition for jobs, and increased pressure on public services. Historical examples from other regions, like Europe's migration challenges, illustrate how unchecked mobility can sometimes lead to socio-economic tensions. Take Brexit, for example, which saw the UK leave the European Union due to a high influx of citizens coming in from the EU. Similarly, African nations that have implemented visa-free policies, such as Rwanda and Seychelles, have seen increased tourism and trade, but they've also faced challenges in managing overstays and ensuring that incoming populations contribute positively to local economies. For Ghana, which is still grappling with unemployment and infrastructure deficits, such a policy risks placing additional pressure on public services and an already fragile system, making careful implementation and enforcement critical. Then there's the question of timing. Many Ghanaians are questioning why this policy is being implemented now. Some speculate that it's a political maneuver by the outgoing president to secure a legacy, regardless of the potential challenges it might create for the next administration. To an extent, you could argue that Ghana is not yet equipped to handle the complexities of such a policy, with its infrastructure and governance systems still needing significant improvement. For example, Ghana's tourism infrastructure, though promising, struggles with maintenance and accessibility issues. While the visa-free policy may attract visitors, will these visitors find the infrastructure to support their travel and investment plans? Similarly, will Ghana's immigration systems be prepared to regulate overstays and ensure that temporary stays don't turn into permanent settlements without proper oversight? But perhaps the most divisive issue is the lack of reciprocity. In order for this to function, visa-free policies should be mutual, ensuring Ghanaians enjoy similar freedoms across the continent. If this act is not reciprocated, this initiative could feel one-sided, with Ghana shouldering most of the burden while other nations maintain restrictive policies. Despite these concerns, the vision behind this policy remains inspiring. It's a step towards dismantling the borders that have long divided Africa, both physically and mentally. However, for this vision to succeed, Ghana must address the practicalities head-on. Border management systems need upgrading. Policies to regulate overstays and monitor migration flows must be enforced. And more importantly, infrastructure, from transport to public services, must be ramped up to accommodate increased mobility. Ultimately, the success of this policy depends on balancing ambition with pragmatism. It's not just about opening borders, but ensuring that this openness translates into economic growth, regional cooperation, and cultural exchange without overwhelming Ghana's systems or disadvantaging its citizens. It's a test of leadership, planning, and collaboration, not just for Ghana, but for Africa as a whole. If done right, Ghana's visa-free policy could serve as a blueprint for other African nations, fostering unity and progress. But if mismanaged, it risks becoming a cautionary tale. The stakes are high, and the world will be watching as Ghana embarks on this bold journey toward a borderless Africa. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay up to date with more stories shaping Africa today, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our Channel P Hoa network. Join our community today and be part of a like-minded group that is dedicated to reimagining and redefining the future of Africa. See you guys on the next one.